Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Chris and Tammy here coming to you live from Toronto, Canada. It's always a pleasure to be back home. And before we begin, just want to welcome all of you here. We have Robert. Great to see you here, Robert. And we have Thomas. And let's see here, Mary Paul from Ottawa. We have Christine from Toronto. We have Jim from New Brunswick. And James from Maryland, USA. We have MC from Texas. And let's see here, we have Ann from Northwest Indiana. And we have Richard. Great to see you here. And folks, as you're coming in, we welcome you to our webinar. Tammy and I are excited to share with you the story of GotBackup. So Tammy, let's begin on how did we get introduced to GotBackup?
Yeah, so Chris and I have known Joel for so many years. We watched each other's kids grow. He watched us grow and have our successes in the network marketing profession, building global businesses. And we watched him grow his business from scratch. Chris was one of his customers at the very beginning. And so I guess 2 years ago now, Chris, a little over 2 years, he contacted us, told us about this GotBackup project that he had just launched. I think he had launched it a month in before he contacted us. And he was telling us that it was growing very, very fast. And he was asking us if we were open to check it out. And we did our due diligence, just like you're doing this evening. And we looked at the information. We just knew that it was a huge opportunity to be there at the beginning. We're going to talk about that, the importance of the wave, and what we're up to. And all the new stuff that's happening right now is so exciting.
It certainly is. And like Robert said here, folks, if you like the presentation tonight, just smash that like button and let's tell the world that this is an opportunity that is worth looking into. Folks, again, Tammy and I really saw the potential. One of the reasons is we've met some friends from all over the world. We saw an opportunity for families to be empowered by a global opportunity with a service that everyone needs, a price point that everybody can afford. Because of that, we saw potential for massive growth. We'll mention Dropbox, who has reached over 700 million users. And here we are providing an income opportunity over and above that. And we'll share that with you along the presentation. So we saw it was a time where people can really turn their dreams into reality. Just like this father on the far left here, where he's kind of showing off his set of keys because they got into a brand new home. And again, it's not a nice thing to see. Considering the fact that now you can move into a new home because you have extra funds to be able to do this. What about traveling where you want to opposed to where you can afford to? Is not a nice concept. What about adding new members of the family? We understand today the cost of living has increased tenfold. What if that was not an issue because you have extra money to be able to deal with all of this? What about retirement? I mean, Tammy and I are at that stage right now where we realize we worked our entire lives and we obviously want to live from the fruit of our labor. And then we're adding another stream of income to our investments for dividend incomes. And so, you know what I'm taking here, folks? The fact here is having another stream of income can really help out in kind of setting up for success as we move forward. And this is what we're going to share with you here today.
Yeah. So the big question is, why are you here? Because we're here to help anybody who wants to live an above average lifestyle. Not even just that. Like, to make an extra $500 a month today is such a big thing. And that's where it starts, is getting to that 500. And then that 500 rolls into 1,000, which rolls into a couple thousand, because you're not doing this alone. You're doing it as a team. And we're going to share that with you and how you can really benefit.
That's an understatement. Folks, the company began in 1997, Gatineau, Quebec, which is a city that's right beside where I used to live. And I remember that Joel was telling me that they had to move to the U.S., specifically in Texas, because the location where they have the 10,000 square feet data center were able to support the bandwidth that can actually support the growth that they were seeing. So instead of me kind of explaining all this in details, let's hear the owner, GotBackup, Joel Thierry, sharing behind the scene what's going on over there. Let's check this out together.
Hey guys, welcome to the corporate office of GotBackup. Now everybody wants to know, are we super secure? And how do we offer such an amazing service at such a low price? So this is in our tech room. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you on a tour of our server room to show you just how secure it is. And we welcome you into the family. So let's go over to the server room. So the First thing I want to explain to you guys is that we're fully PCI compliant. For physical PCI compliance, what does that mean? It means we're allowed to physically store credit cards in our data center because we're uber secure. So we've passed all the tests for that, and we're legally allowed to store credit cards and your storage. So one of the first requirements for PCI compliance is you have to have 2 coded doors before you get into your server room. We also, as a company, like to have fun, so we call it Area 51. So anyway, I'm going to code this door with my back here so you guys can't see what the code is. Come in this way. This is a simple inventory room, guys. We build servers here and so forth. And then our second coded door is over here, okay? And so we have a coded door here as well to get into the server room. So here we are in the server room, guys. This is where all the magic happens. So a couple of things people ask. Joel, how secure is my data, and could you ever lose our data? So as an example, let's come here. It's impossible to lose your data, and here's why. If you look at this storage array, and we have hundreds of storage arrays in here, there's 14 hard drives across this storage array. 4 of these hard drives could fail, which statistically never happens, but let's say it did. 4 of these hard drives need to fail before we start to lose some data. But guess what? We're not going to lose any data because this is striped to here. This whole rack of hard drives here is copied here. Just the same here. All these hard drives here are copied here. So there's not a single point of failure relative to your data. There's also no single point of failure in the server room. As an example, there's A power and B power. Every server is plugged into A power. Every server is plugged into B power. Also, relative to cooling of this room, if you come over here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners in this server room. So the air is never going to be a problem. The other thing as well is we're very, very efficient. If you look up at the ceiling, let's come back over here, you'll see vents up there, and the cold air is strategically placed in front of the servers here, so it sucks in all the cold air, and it goes over into the hot aisle behind this wall here. So very, very efficient server room as well. And finally, if God forbid there was ever a fire in this room, we have here what's called a fire suppression system. What this system does, it's just a bunch of electronics behind here, but we can open it up, okay, is if God forbid there was a fire, and in 25 years there's never been a fire, but it will snuff out all the oxygen in this room. If there's no oxygen, then the fire goes out, right? So we don't use water to destroy the equipment. So that's the basics of the server room. Super, super secure and super redundant relative to your data. So the other aspect to security is we use the exact same security as Amazon, as Google, as all the big players, Microsoft. It's patented security, it's military grade, 256-bit encryption security. So your stuff is very secure.
So there's more to the story, obviously, and you can check this out in your back office. Folks, going back to the presentation, there is 2 global trends that are important to consider. Folks, if you're an investor or a business owner or want to start a business, it's important that you move into a trend where we know growth is happening, right? You certainly don't want to get into the area where, for example, fax machines and where flip phones, and I mean these are trends that are dead, they're passe. So it's important that you keep in mind of the trends and the importance of seeing where the market is going now. And cloud storage is absolutely massive. Let's start with this one, Tammy.
Yeah, and Chris just said it. It's all about cloud storage. Everybody has devices. It doesn't matter where you go in the world. Chris and I have traveled a lot, and it's interesting because a lot of the time when we went to Asia or Africa, people had 1, 2 phones, and we didn't understand why. It's because they would run out of data in one phone, so they went and got another phone. So here, this is such a big solution for people with this global trend and the opportunity here.
Yeah, there was also the fact that some services were better depending on what they were using for data or phone calls.
Yeah,
but
and
exactly.
Yeah, but it was interesting, the things that you learn when you travel.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing, folks, is looking at this slide. I know it's a bit of an older slide from 2011, 2023, but look at the curve here from 6% in 2011 to 60% in 2023. This is huge. Let's look at this one over here. This is the size of cloud storage market worldwide from 2022 to 2030. So these are revenues, folks. 90 billion opposed to close to half a trillion. And I think this is conservative because today devices are a lot more sophisticated and there's a lot more of it. And there's a lot more companies that are tapping into the cloud service. I think it will be more in 750 billion. The bottom line here is this is an income opportunity. These are tendencies that you want to consider in being in business. Let's talk about the cell phone addictions.
Yeah, you definitely want to catch the wave with this because honestly, everybody's on their devices using it for so many things. You're constantly seeing people out there creating content for social media. We're just using up all of the storage that are in our devices, which leads to having to pay more. So that's why we're so excited about sharing this with you.
I totally agree. And folks, data loss is a growing concern.
Yeah.
And the fact is amazing that 45% of cell phone users have accidentally damaged their cell phones and lost their data. So think about this. This is half, close to 5,700 screen cracked every hour, laptop, cell phone stolen every 43 seconds. So this is a growing concern. Let's think about this, folks. This is your device. And if everything you use and do in here for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, some case could be 10 years is in that device, and God forbid that device goes and disappears, then everything goes with it. So you have to back up your stuff. And that's why cloud storage is so important. Here's another message that could be a little irritating.
Yeah, and that's what we were just mentioning earlier is people are just filling up their devices and they're constantly getting these messages and they have no choice. They either have to pay more or they have to start eliminating some important stuff. I know Chris and I, everything that we take pictures of or videos of, it's something that we don't want to lose. We want to have it stored and stored safely.
I totally agree. And I did mention 2 trends, folks. The second trend is to make more money. See, we live in a time and age right now that we need to be smarter on how we bring revenues into our home to be able to deal with what is going on. 42% of Americans have side gigs, right? Side businesses, 62% of Gen Z. These are our children between 18 to 25. What about the rest of the world, folks? This is what you need to focus on. And by the way, folks, this is a presentation sharing the opportunity and the benefits. And of course, if you have some challenges like Too Sweet there, simply go to your customer service because there are tens of thousands of people backing up their stuff every single day. So keep in mind that we have a technical service and a support system to help you because you might have an issue on your end. So let's continue with the presentation here, folks. Leverage these 2 global trends with GotBackup. That's what we're talking about here, folks. You can take advantage of these trends, and that's how important what we're talking about here today. Tammy, let's talk about our service.
Yeah, this is my favorite part. 6 terabytes of data storage. You on your account, you can have 5 additional members, all sharing the storage. You can even decide how much storage you want to give to each member, and unlimited devices. Just when I saw that alone, I knew there was a massive opportunity because every single family, we live in a condo right here in Toronto, and there's condo buildings everywhere, and every single family, they need a service like this with a generous, high value amount of storage, and all of that for $10. That blew me away. Just when Joel told us about that, we would have been a customer. But what was even better when he told us that there was a home-based business attached to it, we're in. And we've always built global businesses. We always make sure that we're put our brand, Chris and I, behind a high value product, which is GotBackup, so high value.
I totally agree, Tammy. And Thomas, absolutely, totally agree with you that data loss absolutely, I don't know if I can say the word sucks on
Yes,
this, but it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And when it comes to best pricing, I can testify myself, I have never seen a service that provides you 6 terabytes for the price of 2. And there's so much more than that. But folks, when you look at our competitors, iCloud, Dropbox, Google Drive, right? They all offer the service within $10 a month. If I may round it off, it's around 2 terabytes. And I say around, it is 2 terabytes, but it could the users could vary depending on the service that you use. These are monthly. Now, where it becomes interesting, now yearly, the numbers might vary a little bit because these numbers were taking a few years, maybe about a year or two ago, but things may differ. In fact, it may be a little bit more expensive. iCloud is around $360 per year. Now, I know that for a fact. I just saw a post from someone that's saying, you know what? That's where I got GotBackup. And they were showing the price of iCloud. And it's really expensive when you get to 6 terabytes. And of course, this is US dollars here, folks. So Dropbox, $660. And again, price may vary. And Google Drive, $260. And again, price may vary. But the fact here is GotBackup is just under $100, folks. You're getting 6 terabytes. You're getting support. You're getting a whole lot behind the scene to help you build your business, funnels, all these things for $9.97 a month, or even cheaper if you pay for the year. The price, if you round it off, it's around $8 and change. Price are unbelievable, folks. 6 terabytes. So let's summarize this, Tammy, before we show how to install this on the cell phone.
Yeah, so it's 6 terabytes, $9.97 a month, or you can choose to pay yearly, as Chris mentioned. It includes up to 6 accounts. You can keep it all for yourself. I know we do because we're always building content for business. You can use your Android, iPhones, whatever. Chris and I have tons of devices in both of our properties, and everything is backed up with GotBackup. So we never have to worry. Anytime we're searching for something, we just go in the app and we have access to it. It's phenomenal. And you got a chance to see how the system works, you know, the storage, the military grade encrypted security. And, you know, what you are seeing is just a part of it, because it's grown since then for the amount of storage that's been backed up in that in their main center is unbelievable. So we're
let's
growing
check this
quite
out.
fast, and it's a 30-day money back guarantee. So if anybody gets himself set up, which Chris is going to show you the simple video on how to set up your phones. Once everybody gets set up, I don't know anybody who would want to stop doing GotBackup when they would go back to 2 terabytes for this.
I totally agree. And folks, what's happening here is we have a little video that we want to play with you here. And it's just how to install it on your cell phone. There is 2 different apps. One's to back up your computer, and the one is to back up your cell phone. Let's check this out. Let's see how simple that is.
Hey everybody. This is a quick walkthrough of how to install your GotBackup app onto your mobile device. In this case, I'm using the Android Galaxy, but the process is the same also on an iPhone. So to download your app, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either come to the Play Store. On an iPhone, it's called just the App Store, and just search for GotBackup. And there it is. Or we could come to our members area and go to use this tool, and then you will see it here on your dashboard. So again, I'm using my Android device. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and it's going to take me to my Google Play Store. If you're on an iPhone, it will take you to your App Store on your iPhone device. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's going to ask you to log into your account. Go ahead and allow all your notifications so it could let you know that everything's being uploaded properly, and go ahead and put in your unique ID. Once logged in, you will be asked to let GotBackup access your photos and videos on your mobile device. Select Allow. Without having to do anything, an Android upload folder was automatically created for me. Neat! If you are on an iPhone, the folder will be called iPhone Upload. Now, depending on how many photos and videos is on your device, your first backup might take some time. So it is highly recommended that your device is on a charger and is connected to Wi-Fi. It is a good idea to start your first backup in the evening and keep your GotBackup app open and let it back up overnight. One more thing I'd like to point out. If I tap on these 3 little lines on the top left corner and tap on Settings, you will see these 3 boxes under Monitor are automatically checked. Auto Upload will automatically upload all future photos and videos taken on your device to your GotBackup cloud. Camera Roll Upload will back up all existing photos and videos that are stored on your device to your GotBackup cloud. And Upload only on Wi-Fi will only back up your data while connected to Wi-Fi. If you have an unlimited data plan, you can uncheck this. So if I come to my gallery, I'm going to have a slew of pictures from over the years. This is actually Joel's phone, so if I come to my albums, I have almost 1,400 pictures. Alright, so if I come to my app, come back to my menu and click Transfers, you're going to see all my pictures now are uploading. Since this might be a large upload at first and I have a low battery, it's highly recommended that you plug into a power source. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, now that's finished. We can now see that our Android upload has all been categorized by what year these photos were taken. These were taken in 2021. And this was just recently. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
So you can see, folks, it's a very simple step. If you stick to the end, I'm going to show you a little bit of how it looks on the back end when it comes to backing up your cell phone, pictures and data, and also when it comes to back up your computer. Now, folks, what is really important here, again, this is the only cloud storage that pays you. So when someone says, well, what about this service? What about that service? One thing you can ask is, do they pay you? Because most likely they don't. They may give you a little bit of bonus here and there for referring it, but not at the extent of GotBackup is doing. So let us show you how making money with GotBackup is absolutely amazing. Let's check this out.
Yeah, you can see there's 7 ways to earn, and you got the 3 highlighted sections. That's really the foundation of building. The rest are bonuses that you'll get paid as the team starts growing in the organization. So customer acquisition bonus, CAB for short, that's when somebody's interested in the opportunity, they're interested in the product, and they decide they're going to come in either $9.97 or the $99.97, pay for the year. They get 200% upfront for the monthly. They get 50% upfront for the yearly, and you get 25% on anything that they're going to roll out in the future. We also have a VIP package, and you can see there's 25% on ongoing customers. There's people who absolutely don't want to do any business, and that's fine. Those are the ones that are great customers. So you get 25% ongoing on the $10 item. So let's share a couple examples, Chris, and you can imagine how much bigger it would be if they would come in yearly, if everybody you brought in would come in yearly. But if you had 20 people who decided to join and they decided to come in monthly, 200% upfront, $20 times 20 people, $400 in commission. And you're not even limited to the amount of people you can bring in. The world is our oyster, you guys. We're at the very beginning of a massive wave of growth. And those who position themselves are going to be very happy in the next 2 to 5 years and even sooner. So if you're dealing with customers, let's say you had 20 customers, 25% ongoing, $2.50. We're rounding it off to a $10 item for $9.97. You get 20 customers, $50 ongoing. It's phenomenal. And again, not limited to how many customers you bring in.
Totally agree. And that is the front end here, folks. Let's think about this. You want to make some money. If they pay yearly, it's almost $50 per person. Do the math if you bring 20 people or 30 people or even more. It could be quite significant. That is probably more than most companies I've ever seen in my entire career, considering the price point to start and how much to give you to get started. Absolutely amazing. Now, on the back end, let us show you how it works. It's what we call cycle earnings. And the way this works is we have a 2-team tree. There's a right team and a left team. When you see indirect, it's someone that was sponsored that happens to be in the path of your business by someone above you, because just like you, if you have 10 people, well, you can only place it on the right side or the left side. So it's kind of common sense to assume that if there are people above you that are working the business, you may end up with someone in your organization. Now, don't expect that this is going to happen. The fact is, it happens a lot. That's why you see indirect. As you see the direct here on the right-hand side, that's someone you brought in that the indirect benefit from. So that's the concept of a 2-team tree. Now let's focus on the cycle bonus, because they are 2 tiers. Tier 1 and tier 2. And by the way, tier 1 and tier 2 are it's associated to the amount of money that it will pay you for each cycle. I'll come back to that in a minute. Just so you know that tier 2, it's almost 3 times what tier 1 offers. How does that work? How do you qualify? Well, number one is you need to be active. As I mentioned, every single time you present, every time you're adding a service like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and whatever else that you buy on a monthly basis, as long as you pay for your service, you're able to use the service. And GotBackup is really awesome if you choose to stop, because it'll give you plenty of time for you to get your data back into whatever drive you may want to store it into. Number 2 is enroll others to join the team. The thing is, you need to sponsor one person on your left team, one person on your right team. When that happens, now you have the second step to qualify to start earning your cycle bonus. Okay. The third step, well, the system requires 6 people in your business to trigger a cycle to justify the payout. So what's happening here is it could be coming from people above you, as I mentioned earlier. It could be from the people that you sponsored, or it could be simply you who brought in the 6 people. Whatever that happened, whatever order that this comes in, it has to be in a ratio of 4-2. That means there's 4 on one side and 2 on the other. It doesn't matter what side that occurs. That will generate a cycle. What's the value of a cycle? Again, it's based on the company's profitability, and it's based on your rank, because the rank will determine if you're a tier 1 or a tier 2. Okay, my question to you is, how many cycles do you want in your business? Just keep in mind that Dropbox has 700 million users. Just do the math with a tiny little fraction of that into your business. This is when Tammy says, between 2 to 5 years, you don't know what may happen to your business. But I'm telling you, folks, if you knew about Bitcoin in 2010 and 2012 and 2013, when everybody was a laughing stock thinking this would die, today, one Bitcoin is worth over $100,000. You understand what I'm talking about. So it's all about timing, folks. And right now, it's a really good time to get involved and start building your team. Let's talk about matching cycle or cycle match. What you see here are the matching bonus on a team that's performing. A team is a person that you brought in who happens to have a team underneath them. If you sponsor 10 people or 15 people or 100 people, whatever that is, well, you have the potential to earn a team bonus match on each of those individuals. So the number I'm telling you about these are based on every single person you bring in. So for example, that qualifies when you are a Sapphire. And I'll come back to the ladder in a minute on what the rank means to you. You earn 25% from the person that you personally sponsored. So that means that if they cycle 100 times, well, that will be 25 cycles. If they are in tier 2, well, your cycle value will be more. So my point in saying here is you can earn up to $1,000 per person. I'm not saying you're going to make that when you qualify as a Sapphire. What I'm saying is the person you brought in, the maximum you can earn is $1,000. If this person becomes a Black Diamond, do you see the number there? 20,000. That's the potential. I'm not saying you're going to make that. What I'm saying, that's the potential for each person that you bring in. So you can see that the potential is enormous when you start looking at the momentum as this gets into that momentum. So folks, matching bonus is absolutely amazing. And the other bonuses that we talked about, their generation bonus, think about every $10 that you have in your business, every single bodies, you have the potential to earn 2.5% from all these $10. It may not seem like a lot, but again, do the math. If you look at Dropbox with 700 million, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen to you. What I'm saying is the potential is there. Dynamic compression is exactly number 4, but you go deeper into your business. Rank bonus pool is the moment you reach certain ranks, you get a bonus automatically just by maintaining that rank. And the leadership bonus, again, and other bonuses as you grow your business. So Tammy, let's show folks here what do they need to do to duplicate that system?
Yeah, it's simple. Get yourself signed up. And for those of you who are already signed up, the goal is to get a couple people. Bring one on the left, bring one on the right, just like Chris showed you, the 2-team structure, and help those people do the same thing. And number 3 is to continue, bring a couple more, and left and right, and build some balance at the beginning. That's something that Chris and I did, and it just started to take off. And the key is to duplicate. If you're duplicating the simple process with everybody, then everybody grows. And the moment you bring one on the left and one on the right, you're now a copper. And Chris is going to share that in one of the graphs.
Absolutely. How do we get started?
$20, and it's an annual fee, which is so minimal. I came from a traditional business. It's a lot of money to get started with a business. It's absolutely, everybody can be involved in this. There's no limit to any country in the world. So $20 annual fee, and you decide to pay monthly or yearly. Most people pay yearly. That's why you've got the highlight there on the $99.97 set and forget for 12 months, and you save a couple months of payments.
I totally agree, folks. We're at 157 countries right now. So we might even be more. The fact here is these are not necessarily people building at 157 countries. They certainly could, but it's what we're serving. We're serving 157 countries. These are people living in these markets connecting to the GotBackup cloud. And folks, recognizing achievement is so important. So when I talk to you about the ranks, these are it. And let me explain to you what these mean. A bronze, that means that you sponsor one person. A copper, Tammy referred to it a few times, and I did too, is when you sponsor one on the left, one on the right. This is what we consider a copper. The moment you've done that, you've achieved the very first step. Well, first is you want to be a bronze by sponsoring one person, but to start benefiting from this bonus that we talked about the cycle bonus, you want to become a copper. Now, you move up in rank when duplication happens in your business. All the way from copper, all the way up to black diamond, it's duplication. That's what it is. So as a silver, that means that someone in your team that you have personally enrolled or from someone that you personally enrolled became copper. So that means they sponsor one left, on the right. They're duplicating. Then you're a silver. As a goal, now what's happening is you sponsored 5 people in your business. And out of those 5 people, 3, and it may not even be the one you sponsored. It could be someone that they've sponsored, became copper. 3 of them. With a total of 25 people on your team, you are a goal. Now you start getting the bonuses, the number 4 I was telling you about. And then as a platinum, folks, now this is a very important step. It's not really hard to get from platinum from gold, because what's happening here is that you sponsored 10 people. Okay. You sponsored 10 people. And out of those 10 people, there are 4 that became copper. It may not even be the one you sponsored. It could be someone that they sponsored. There's a total of 40 people on your team. Now, what's happening here is you're moving from tier 1 to tier 2. You're almost tripling your income in a cycle bonus. Do you understand? So that becomes significant. If you recall the matching cycle, right? The cycle match, that's when you become a sapphire. So in this case, what's happening is it's the same 10 people. You don't have to bring more. You have your same 10 people. But in this time, there's 5 people that became copper. And again, it may not be the ones you sponsor, but as long as it comes from one of them, 5. And you have a total of 50 people in your team because the team is duplicating. Now you're a sapphire. What does that mean? You start earning a matching cycle from the cycles of every single people you brought into your business. As an emerald, it's still 10 people. You didn't bring any more, but there's more coppers coming from there. And then ruby, and then diamond, and double diamond, and triple diamond, and blue, and red, and black diamond. Folks, this is how it grows. That's the ladder of success that GotBackup is offering. It's absolutely amazing. Tammy, let's cover the support.
Yeah, so you have personalized referral links, you have a personalized landing page, you have email marketing system that is included, which blew my mind. I thought the value of what we had just with the storage with the 6 terabytes for $10, I thought that was wow. And they added that into your back office so you can create an email system for your leads, for people who are clicking on your links. You've got a marketing tools. They're always adding new things, which is great, and different languages, which is even better. And then you have regular online presentations, just like Wednesday nights. Chris and I do most Wednesday nights. Every once in a while, Joel will pop in as a guest or replace us when we have something that we have to attend to. The teams are all doing presentations in different languages, different countries around the world. There's company training on Saturdays, which is 10 a.m. So people can't say, well, I don't know what to do, because we're going to teach you what to do. And Chris and I also do that on Saturday mornings to help out the team, the teams that are growing globally. And then there's leaders out there that are just phenomenal, different languages, that are doing trainings for their own groups.
Absolutely. And folks, listen, it's a product that everyone needs. It's a business that everyone can afford. Folks, listen, if you are listening to this live or on a later date, go to gotbackuplive.com. The person that sends you the link to send you here will benefit from your enrollment. If not, just make sure you get back to the person that invited you to this webinar to check it out. Let them know I'm ready to go. Folks, it's less than $40 if you pay monthly, or about $129, less than $130 if you pay for the year. That's including $20 and everything else. I highly, highly, highly recommend this here, folks. And here's the thing that's really, really awesome. What I'd like to do is I like to share my screen, and I'm just going to do this right now. Okay, I think it's right here, and here we are. Okay, so let me share my screen with you. I'm going to remove that, and here we are. This is what it looks like in the back end. Okay, so what's happening is you have your ID, you have your rank, and you have the support here. This is where you go if you need some support. I want to focus on two links: the use this tool and reseller tool. If you click on use this tool, I'm just going to open a new tab. Okay, if you use this tool, what's going to happen? Okay, it's going to show you the segment where you can actually download the software to install on your computer. Okay, on the phone I already showed you. Now, even though the buttons are here in the back end, I just recommend for you to go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and just look for GotBackup, download the app, and follow the instructions. And if you want to see it again, you can click on this link. It's exactly the same video you just saw. This one over here is to install this on Windows and install this on the Mac. It's a little app that is at the top. And right over here, when you click open, that's all there is. And install this. You click backup now. You can see here as of today at 7:38, just before this presentation, half an hour prior to that, and everything was backed up. You can click on this link. It will tell you to send you to your cloud. You can see here that I'm using half of my cloud. So if I click here on auto login, well, here's what's happening. It's sending me to my cloud. And what's really awesome is you can just type in here. See, I'm going to do it. GBU Cloud right here. It'll take me there. The first time you go there, it's going to ask you for your ID and password. It's the same one that you do to log into your account. Now, you can see here I have three computers. I have one window computer. That's the one right here. That's the one you see here. That's my window. This one here is, you can see, this is when I left the United States in Daytona Beach, Florida. That's the date here on May 29th. That's when we left. That's the last day that things were back. Now the computer's turned off and the file will stay as is. Okay. This one here is the MacBook Pro M4 Max. If you understand Max and then brand new, you understand what that means. So right now, this one is backed up, completely backed up. These are my three computers. That's what I love to have 6 terabytes, folks. All my computers are backed up. Now, here's what's really cool. If I click on this, now what's happening on my mobile, you can see if you had an Android, it would say Android upload as the video shared with you. I have an iPhone, so it says iPhone upload. If I just double click on these are all my calendars and files and everything that's stored. If you go to 2024, why? Because that's a full calendar month. So from January to December, okay, all my pictures are here. Any one of you who's been following Tammy and I presenting, you noticed in January, we were in Daytona Beach, Florida. We started with this one directory, and then February, and then March, and then April, and then May, and now we're in June. Okay, so it's automatic. My computer, my phone, I should say, it is a computer, but my phone automatically back up stuff. I don't have to tell it. It does this everything all the time. What's really cool here is this is the collaborate and share. So you can see that all these files over here are files that I can drag and drop. So in my computer, if I open a directory, I can grab onto a directory or a file, and I can copy it and drop it into this window, and it'll appear right here. And that's what it is. Same thing. I can turn around, and I can also decide to share some pictures with you at any time that I want to. So if I click on, for example, this over here, or maybe this one or whatever, any of those files that I can share that with you just by right clicking, and I can get the link and I can share that link with you. It's really, really, really that simple. Okay. So in moving back here, folks, this is how this works. It's absolutely awesome. There's so much that you can do here, and you can see here that I still have 6 terabytes excuse me, half of my drive over here out of my 6 terabytes. In my
He
case,
actually has 7 because
I bought an
Yeah.
extra one because I know I'm a data hugger, so I needed more space. I have many computers, many phones, many devices, so that's me. And you can certainly do the same if you want to. Now, here's another thing that's really important here that I want to share with you. If I click on that, you notice here there's another. This is what you need to know to build your business. So if I click on reseller tools, I click right here. What's going to happen is going to show you all the funnel that are available to build your business. So obviously, there's more information here, but I'm not going to go through this because it is a presentation tonight. But this is a bit of an older version, but this will work. And whenever someone click on this link, it will provide an email and a name that the person can pop in if they're interested to hear more information. And then if you bought the email when you purchased the GotBackup opportunity, then those emails are going to be sent to your prospect. If not, the company will send a generic one, but obviously you would like to have your own.
And you
Now,
can create your own as well for
correct.
those who want to create their own. Yeah.
Correct. If you click on this one over here, someone can sign up on the spot. It's very, very straightforward. You click on that, and then the person can turn around and get started today. And I want to pay for the year. And bada boom, bada bing. Here's the slide. It's so simple. They can pay with crypto. They can pay with credit card. Very, very straightforward. Now, the thing that's important here, I want to focus all the way down to here because this, folks, this is what's worth so much. And people don't realize that this here is a complete automated funnel. This is yours. You don't have to pay extra for that. It's included with your $10 a month, if I may round it off. I know it's $9.97, but this is really, really good for the general public. And when you click on that and they turn around and put their name and email, again, if you buy the automated emails, then you're going to start receiving this and encourage them to activate. The system does the work for you on the background. These are the tools. If you're doing some Facebook ad campaigns, you can use this link, or maybe that's the one that I like, because you don't need to play another video because you probably did one for them to click on the link. And then from there, you just want to grab their name and their email. Very simple. And then they're going to start receiving emails on your behalf if you've set up your lead capture system. And again, folks, if you don't fully understand that, don't worry about it because we have plenty of trainings that are available in our Saturday training. Now, this Saturday
Carol
training,
has a great Chris. Carol has a great question. Can you back up data from a PC and restore that data?
Yes, you can.
Your laptop?
Absolutely, you can. In fact, it's really, really straightforward. If I go back to this, let's see here, to my computer backup, I'm just going to show that to you here. Backup, my computer backup. Okay, you'll notice here when you click on this button and click on restore, okay, it will give you all the details on how to restore your files back to your computers. Okay, it's really, really, really that simple. Okay. And there's a new feature that's coming very soon. You guys won't see that just as of yet, but I can tell you, if you click on show files over here, you see that is my computer. So this is a new feature coming very soon. When you click on user, you can see a Christian Jengra. You can see this is my computer. This is everything my computer have, obviously embedded within these directories. Okay. My desktop, my documents, my download, my GotBackup, everything is in here. So I can turn around and restore, and eventually you just need to bring them back into your computer just by saying download. So there's some awesome things that are coming about, folks. It's a very, very exciting. You have your business details here. You have all the stuff. You have some VIP coaching if you want to learn a little bit more about the network marketing aspect of things. I know Tammy and I are about to do a really good training on the attributes of leadership. I think I call it leadership attributes. I forgot which order it is, but it's very important training as to the reason why Tammy and I have done so well in network marketing, and we want to pay it forward. We want to help the team grow. That you're in our team or not, it doesn't matter. Take advantage of these tools to help you grow and educate yourself to be able to grow into your business. So as we end, Tammy, anything you want to share?
Yeah, just to add to that, Chris, Joel does trainings as well.
Yes.
On email marketing, online marketing, for those who really want to create that automated set and forget and to be able to automate your business more, which is something that we're doing. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great learnings. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Tammy, for presenting with me this evening here, folks. Listen, every single Wednesday night. We are becoming here. And from time to time, as Tammy stated, we may have Joel coming in as a guest speaker at least once a month. I like to have Joel coming in and say hi to everyone. And he might also sometimes take the lead. Every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern time, we do trainings. I didn't tell Tammy yet, but I believe that this coming Saturday, we're going to do a training on the compensation plan. I think it's important that the new people understand exactly how you get paid, what you need to do to grow and earn an income with GotBackup. So have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Have a great rest of your
Don't
week.
forget, every Friday, 11 o'clock Eastern time, we also present.
Be sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed tonight's session.
Bye for now.